Are Bostonians beginning to get back to normal today?
A little bit here, Mario. You know, when we came up yesterday, the streets were just empty. Of course, this city on lockdown, people told to stay inside their homes. And now you can see people out and about. We are right about a couple of blocks away from the marathon finish line on Boylston Street in downtown Boston, where there is a makeshift memorial here set up for the 3 lives lost and the many injured. And it's really been growing by the day. And hundreds of people just in the past few hours that we have been here have been coming through to pay their respects. You know, this has been such a hard situation, just a really tense time for so many people here in the city and outside of the city. You can imagine the feeling here at this memorial is somber. But there's also a sense of relief, really, because this manhunt practically shut down this city for days. Now you can see people getting out and about and really starting to heal.
It's a bit overwhelming. It's kind of daunting to think about what happened at this particular finish line.
Bostonians gathered by the dozens to remember, reflect, and release. Boston native Mary Lou Tierney ran through this finish line last year. She's here today with her dog Annie to pay her respects. Like almost everyone who passes through here, she too was glued to her TV screen, holed up in her home for the past 2 days.
I'm just so grateful for the outcome, and I think all the law enforcement officials, local, state, federal, did an amazing job, and of course all the first responders were just amazing. So it's a real testament to them as just human beings.
And it's the efforts of those dogged law enforcement officers and relentless first responders that got Bostonians out on the streets cheering in support last night after word that they caught the second suspect.
The city has really been held hostage. It's almost a breath of release that we can kind of go back to normal life eventually after this.
Nothing says normalcy more than good old baseball, with a monstrous American flag stretched across the infamous Green Monster at Fenway Park. Today's Red Sox game, postponed from yesterday, proved to be an emotional tribute to those lost in the tragedy, as well as those who helped capture the accused killers. Back at the memorial, another Boston native, Jonathan Golden, made a point to bring his 11-year-old daughter.
I've always brought her to everything. I've brought her to 9/11 quite a few times, to Ground Zero quite a few times. You know, I'm not afraid.
And neither is young Gabby, who took this experience as a life lesson.
I learned that even through sadness, happy things can happen.
Yeah? What do you think those happy things are?
I think definitely made Boston stronger and more community.
Wise words from such a young lady there. You know, it's an interesting note to point out that when I talk to a lot of these people and I ask them, how do you feel that the second suspect was taken alive? Almost all the time, people say that they are actually glad because they really want to know why these people did this. And obviously, that'll be a long road to justice, taking him to court. But people definitely do want those answers here. In the meantime, definitely there is some healing already starting to go on here. You can see people are actually holding up signs to give out free hugs. People have brought their therapy dogs so that everyone can just kind of come together on a very human level. And on a lighter note, I will say the Red Sox did win that emotional game today. So even though some Yankee fans out there, I think you can say this with me, at least today. Go Bo Sox. We're live in Boston tonight. Erica Pitzi, Pix 11 News. Mario.